Hey, I'm Stan the Man. Welcome back. And doing a little section hike today up in New York State on the Appalachian Trail. And I'm with my friend Carol, also known as Scrambles.
That's me.
And she is actually working on finishing up the state of New York and New Jersey, right? And she's also training for the JMT for next year. So we're just out for an enjoyable day out on the trail here. And we're hiking from mile
1374.7
okay
to 1387.9.
Okay, so I just thought I would give you a little preview of the trail today. If you're a thru hiker coming through this section in New York, section I love. I've done this many times, and one thing I always hear people say, thru hikers, when they get to New York, is that they're surprised by the state of New York. They thought it was going to be easy, and it's not. And believe me, New York is no joke. A lot of rock scrambles and, a lot of puds. So just so I do a little preview for you of this little section, that's one of this section here is one of those types of sections. It starts out nice and easy, and next thing you know, you're into the rocks and a lot of puds. One thing that I love about this section of the trail, it's got a creamery on one end. It's not open now. If you're coming through this section, you have to stop at the Bellvale Creamery. It's one of the great spots, but one of the best ice cream stops on all of Appalachian Trail. So you got to hit it when you come through. That's at 17A by the hot dog stand in Bellvale. So let's get hiking. So this first mile of this section of trail, it's just really nice and flat and easy. One of the easier sections you'll ever walk on the AT. And it takes you right up to the first section of rocks. It has some nice views, and then not too far up ahead of that is a shelter. So we'll stop and I'll show you around. So we are up to our first section of rocks right up there, which offer a nice view. There is a bad weather bypass that goes right down that way. So it's something you may want to consider doing. Not today, because it's a beautiful day. So we're going right up over the rocks. Right, Carol?
That's the plan.
Scrambles, sorry.
Wasting time and wasting money. You've been acting like a fool. You spend your whole life fighting for a guarantee, when all you really need is a friend.
Okay, next stop coming up in a minute. Very shortly anyway. It's the Wildcat Shelter. We'll stop at and get a look around. Nice short walk off the trail, which is exactly what you want in a shelter. Has a picnic table. It's pretty clean. Got a spot for like maybe 6 to 8 people in there, maybe. I would say probably 6. Fire pit and a bear box down below, and some nice tent sites. Okay, leaving the shelter. Next stop is Fitzgerald Falls. I've been there when it's really flowing well, and been there when it's not flowing so well. So hopefully it looks good today. time for lunch, which is tuna fish, apple cinnamon applesauce, and Mallomars. The best food ever invented by man. Carol, I know you would agree, right?
No.
Not at all. Carol's a very healthy eater, just so you know.
I'm eating my greens.
She's eating her greens. She'll probably live much longer than me. Oh, now we talked about your healthy eating and your greens. We gotta see your greens.
Yeah, this is, it's arugula.
Arugula.
And it's steamed with a little bit of balsamic vinegar on it.
Ooh,
Very
actually
good.
Sounds good.
Very good for your heart.
Yep.
I need it tonight. I need it tonight.
Okay, going straight up this guy. And then that's our last big one up.
Hey, there's a good light shining in you. There's a magic in your eyes. Hey, there's a good light shining through. I need it tonight.
All right, so we have about just a little less than 2 miles left. And pretty gentle now until we get to one last big downhill. And then we're back to the car. Still heading down. Name of this trail heading down is called Agonys Grind. It's much steeper than it actually looks. Yeah, with all these leaves on the trail and rocks underneath, you have to be really careful because you could just go sliding. Feet could slide right up from underneath you. Okay, guys, we are done walking back to Elk Pen parking lot, Harriman State Park. But first over the bridge that is falling apart. It goes over New York State Thruway. And you can walk over it, but you can't drive. 12.5 miles done, more done on the AT in the state of New York.
Yeah.
You have how many more miles left?
New York, about 14. Yeah.
About 14 left.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a good hike. We're a little tired. I think we both agree the leaves
Make it harder.
yeah, a lot harder. Probably another mile, probably a mile or two worth of energy and time, I would say. Alrighty, till next time.
Hey, there's a good light shining in you. There's a magic in your eyes.